there. Hello. It's Tuesday, November 17, and you're listening to the Next LVL Podcast, Episode 4. I'm Emin Basavand, and with me is Mr. John Tanho.
Mr. Emin.
Oh, Captain, my Captain. Mayor Oppo is in the house.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, guys. How's it going? Happy Tuesday.
Yeah, man, it is a happy Tuesday. Another fantastic week.
You know why it's a happy Tuesday?
Tell me.
Because I'm holding a red stripe, man.
Yeah, dude. This is a very nice beer. Picked it out. Never tried it before, but I've always seen it Jamaican style. And it's funny because ever since that, we'll call it the incident with the Blue Moon, I've been like very cognizant of what's legitimately a different culture's beer and what's like in their style. So at first I thought, okay, this is a Jamaican beer because I've never tried it. And then I read it's a Jamaican style lager. So I'm like, okay, may as well. I don't care. You know, like I wasn't deceived this time. I was very cognizant of the fact. And it's tasty, man. It's absolutely like delicious.
First time I've had it, and I concur. It's absolutely delicious.
This reminds me of university. My roommate would get this all the time.
Just stock your fridge with some red stripe.
Yeah, no, we always had a few red stripes around.
I think that's like pretty unique, like to have that as your go-to beer, a red stripe. That's not like something I see
decent,
all the time.
Man.
Yeah, it's great.
I think it's very decent.
It's a comforting
good beer.
looking bottle as well.
I love the bottle.
It looks different. It's
Okay, so this is interesting, dude. I mean, I always try to put like the beer in your fridge, right? Like I always try to fit the beer in your fridge, and they're like large bottles, so I have to lay them out.
Yep.
But this is absolutely perfect. They fit in like even your smallest crevices. Like the red stripe bottles just fit.
Yeah.
Very nice and snug, standing up, and they're not like they're shorter, they're fatter, like but they have the same. Like this is a superior bottle. This is probably one of the best bottles I've held of beer. Like it makes me feel like just cool. Makes me feel like I'm, just chilling in Jamaica or something. I don't know. Why not?
You ever been to Jamaica?
I wish, man. This is the closest I'll get, I think, for a while. Yeah, the red stripe. If this is an indication of Jamaican beer, this is a good indication. Like, I'm pretty sure I'd enjoy Jamaican beer. Yeah, no, I'd be down.
This is the only Jamaican beer I've had. I don't even know like which other ones, if there are any
Jamaican
other
style.
famous ones.
Jamaican style.
What do you mean Jamaican style?
This is a Jamaican style beer.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait, so who owns this?
Is it brewed and bottled by Red Stripe Beer Company in Latrobe, PA.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, they're upfront about it. They're not really pulling the wool over my eyes like a certain beer.
I like what it's I like what it says though. For over 80 years, Red Stripe has embodied the spirit, rhythm, and pulse of Jamaica and its people. That's cute.
It's great. And, it's not like superfluous, like we mix this in the finest like ingredients. Well, it's not like this crazy, like poetic thing. It's
guava
literally
infused.
Yeah, no, it's not like
it's no occulto, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But what are you going to do?
This is the first Jamaican anything I've had.
Really?
I think. I mean, think about it.
I don't know what else.
How often does Jamaican culture touch your life?
Very little.
Not for me personally.
Aren't there a lot of Jamaican people in New York and like East Coast?
I don't know if there are Jamaican people in New York and otherwise, but
like
I know
a decent
there's
minority at least.
Maybe, but like, isn't reggae big? And that's like a big Jamaican thing as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I think so.
Rastafarianism and stuff. And yeah, I guess that's kind of like, you don't have to be a Jamaican, but it does touch some people's lives, like those bits of mainstream culture. But I don't know much about like the actual like nuances of Jamaican culture. I have no idea if that even enters like our cultural discourse in America. I don't think so. I don't think it matters really.
Speaking of New York, I'm pretty sure there are all kinds of. I mean, Queens in New York is the most culturally diverse city in the entire United States.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah. I think LA comes second.
Wow.
I love New York. New York is one of my favorite places in the world.
Never been.
Really?
Yeah, I've never
been there like 3 times, I think.
I feel like I would hate it.
Why?
Because I love it here.
What do you mean?
And as an LA boy.
Yeah, no, it's like I grew up in like a car culture, and over there it's sort of the opposite. I don't like public transit.
Yeah, car culture is the thing, John.
Yeah.
Car culture, huh?
Yeah. I don't necessarily approve of it, but I understand,
I'm not a big LA guy in general.
Oh, no, I totally am.
Oh,
if
really?
I don't have my car, I just feel empty. I just feel naked. Like, I need a car.
Maybe you'd like, I mean, everybody shits on it, but New Jersey, I think you'd like New Jersey. New Jersey's kind of car.
What the hell is there in
car
New
culture.
Jersey?
I don't know what there is.
Is it a
in
car
New Jersey.
culture?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a car culture, right? There's like...
I'm pretty sure the entire United States, other than like New York and San Francisco, is a car culture.
Yeah, maybe so. You might be
SF,
right.
it's not.
SF's not. Yeah,
Yeah.
didn't he? Yeah. SF's got the trolley.
Seattle,
SF's
not
got
really.
BART.
LA wouldn't have been, I think, like 50, 60 years ago, but then the people who made the city just dicked everybody.
Yeah, I heard that, like, I'm not too certain, but like I think GM or something, like they kind of messed with the public transport, like upgrading itself, and they kind of stunted
so they could
that.
sell more cars.
Yeah, so they could sell more cars, I guess.
They had like a blueprint.
Good,
for
I welcome it.
Public transit, but then they just shut up.
I don't welcome it, dude. Like places that have public transport are usually better run. Like good public transport is a sign of like a good civilization.
But I like
agree.
my car.
Okay,
I like to drive around. I would rather drive than sit
Yeah.
on a train with like other people. No, I don't want to interact with people. I just want to go do my thing.
Yeah, I mean, but you can do that and still have good public transport. You don't necessarily need the one or the. It's not
Okay.
exclusive, man.
I mean, I don't know.
I wouldn't
dude.
say we have bad public transport.
we have shitty public transport. We have awful public
It's
transport.
LA?
Yeah, it's
LA?
fine. It's
not
it's
fine.
Totally
It's not.
fine.
No, it's
It's
awful.
complete shite. It's
Yeah, no.
complete shite.
Well, if you're living in a suburb like Glendale or like around where we are, then yeah, it's like not very convenient. But if you're living in like the heart of LA, it's fine. And you want to go from
those
LA
few souls.
for those few souls. Well, it's like a city of 6 million people. Like okie dokie, dude.
The few
Yeah,
souls,
dude, no,
dude.
but more people live outside Los Angeles proper than inside. You know,
Yeah, maybe so.
Let's
Yeah.
drive.
Greater
have a-
Los Angeles is a huge place.
Huge, absolutely huge, like giant. Yeah.
That's why everyone should get a car.
That's
Dude.
why everyone should get a car. Dude, get out of here, man.
You know,
I mean, I love driving, but
The main reason why I'm against it is because of like what we're doing at this very moment. We're having beers.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
like that.
We can't
Yeah.
get trashed at your house right now
Yeah.
because we're driving.
Yeah.
We drove here.
Yeah.
I wish I could get trashed here, dude.
Uberino, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
right.
I get to pay like 20
I love
bucks to
Uber,
get
man.
home.
No, Uber's
That's
great.
such a cool idea.
Uber's great.
Uber's great, but like, it's not like an everyday, like, it's not like going to be my main mode of transportation, you
No.
know?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
No, but like for occasions, it's awesome.
Yeah,
I'm
for
so
occasion.
happy it's a thing, and we don't have to struggle with taxi cabs and God knows what else.
Dude, there's like a lot of issues with taxi cabs and Uber and stuff in other places. Like, I think in Canada, there was like a lot of taxi companies and employees were like protesting and being
Yeah.
rather violent about Uber being involved in their
Taking
city.
their gerbs, dude.
Yeah, dude, they're taking their gerbs, I guess. I don't know. I think Uber's just
Yeah.
a great idea. It's like just the future, pretty much.
Have you guys tried Lyft?
Yes.
Same thing.
Same thing.
It's the same thing?
Yeah, so pretty much the same thing. Except
Except they have a stupid fucking purple mustache.
not anymore.
Thank God.
Yeah, they don't have that anymore. But Lyft,
my
I
God.
think, gives you stuff like when you're in the car, they have like mints and water and
Yeah, they
stuff.
give you like starbursts and stuff.
Yeah.
I've had an Uber ride that the guy was offering me vodka.
Why
Oh,
not?
boy.
Yeah, it was cool.
But I don't think you're allowed to do that, right? You're not allowed
I
to
don't
do-
think so.
Probably not, dude.
I don't think you're allowed. No, I mean, like,
That's a very easy way of getting 5 stars, though.
oh, yeah. But if you leave that in the, can you leave comments on Uber on your driver when
I
you rate
think
them?
so.
So what if you left a comment? He gave me vodka, best driver ever. I don't think he'd have his job for too long.
Was he Russian, dude? Was his name Dmitry?
His name was not Dimitri.
Petrov. That'd be great, dude. So, guys, I was thinking about that email question from last week that
All
asked
right.
us what we would. So there's the wine sommelier, and that's like an enthusiast or like a collector or just like a taster of wine, like a very like an authority on wine.
Uh-huh.
And so I learned that the word for a beer sommelier is just a beer sommelier. That's what it's called. There's no other word. But in the spirit of the question, I think there should be. And so I was thinking, I'm like, well, what do we encompass? We're obviously not authorities because we're like just, we drink and we imbibe and we love it. But we have like generally eclectic taste, good taste, diversity among even the three of us for what we enjoy beer wise, as demonstrated by the first 3 weeks of our podcast. So like, what do we do? We drink a lot. And I would say there's a made up word. But I think you guys might like it. A beer Olympiad. We're
Okay.
beer Olympiads. We're like Olympic athletes for beer. You know what I mean? We're like the beer Olympiads. Like we are the one. We're the one.
Constantly training for the
Yes,
marathon.
I might not know like the exact science that goes into my body when I'm running a mile, but I know I can run the mile the same way. I don't know what goes into making a beer, but I'll drink that beer. I'll drink that beer better
All right.
than anyone could drink the
All
beer.
right.
You know what I mean?
I like it, John.
Yeah, man. So we're beer Olympiads to Too Eager for Beavers. Is that who asked the question?
Yeah, that was Too Eager for
Yeah,
Beavers.
okay.
Yeah.
Too Eager to Beavers. Here's your answer. We're
There
beer
you go.
Olympiads.
Beer Olympiads.
Yeah, man.
All right.
I
Great
can
word.
dig it. I
Yeah.
can dig it, John.
I tried to look for like synonyms, I guess. Like I wanted
Yeah.
to know what an Olympic athlete was called, like what the word was, and I couldn't find it. And I thought it was Olympiad, but Olympiad is like the time span of the Olympics.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, well, that doesn't make any sense because Olympiad sounds like a person.
Yeah.
But we'll go with it. So I just said Olympiad, like
Cool.
with a T in the end. So whatever, man.
Well done.
Beer
I'll take it.
Olympiads. Cheers, guys.
Cheers. Cool. So, last week we were talking about Nintendo. We had a little Nintendo episode, and a few days after that, Nintendo had their Direct, and
Shafted
they
us.
announced, and they announced a whole bunch of stuff that we didn't have the opportunity to talk about.
So
So-
Direct is like a presentation.
It's their press
basically?
conference. It's basically their press conference they put up. I want to say like
Occasionally.
every few months or so.
Yeah, whenever there's like big news, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And their big news, their big drop was Cloud from Final Fantasy VII is now in Super Smash.
All right. I just want to say that it's been said everywhere, but this literally almost fulfills the dream of like so many young children, like
Yeah.
when we were kids. Like, can we get a game that Mario, Sonic, Mega Man, Cloud, they're all in it and they all fight? Who would win? You know, like, all right, all you're missing is like Goku.
Yeah.
That's it. You're just missing like Super Saiyan Goku. You know what I mean? That's it. But like Cloud, dude,
Yeah.
out of nowhere, you know, like I don't even know if he was voted on. I don't know if it was because of the ballot. I have no clue. All I know is that
They did have a vote, right?
yes, they did. They had a vote, and they, I think, are going to be adding whoever was voted like as the top, or considering at least.
Dude, I love the addition of Cloud, but let me just take a little dump on your happiness for a second.
Uh-oh.
Please, dude.
Yet another swordsman.
Yeah, no, that's kind of annoying. But his sword is unique, dude.
Wait, so what's bad about that?
I mean,
Okay, we got Roy, we got Marth, we got Ike, we have Lucina, we have Shulk.
Yeah, but they're not copies of each other. Like the guy has a
Some
sword.
are. Some
Yeah,
are, like,
some are,
direct
but
copies.
Cloud doesn't look like one.
He doesn't. But I mean, just another human swordsman. You know what I mean?
it's
Like,
almost like the aesthetic, dude.
Yeah, no, like
it's another
I
dude holding a
understand-
sword.
Yeah, I understand what you guys are saying, but he's a video game legend, you know? Like
He is. No, he is. I
that's the
love
cool
it.
thing
Yeah.
about it. That like Nintendo, they're putting in legends, like whether it belongs to them or not. Like it doesn't matter the IP if it belongs to them. Like they're putting it anyway. There's like 7-8 video game legends icons in Super Smash right now. It's cool.
Do you know?
It's really cool to see.
Do you know if they've ever experienced problems when it comes to like rights for these?
I think
things?
they are well aware of the rights, and they probably asked permission, and probably the like Square Enix and would enjoy it. Like they probably.
Yeah, like why would they not allow it?
Why would
you
they
know?
not allow it? Yeah, it's
If anything, it's just publicity, even.
yeah, and you know I've heard stuff being said that although Final Fantasy has never really been a main thing on the Nintendo, on any Nintendo console, that Final Fantasy VII, because they're remaking it. You guys know that, right?
Yeah.
They're remaking Final Fantasy VII, and they're saying it might go on the next Nintendo console, and
Oh,
that's
cool.
why Cloud is in this game. So I mean,
see.
why else would they really put him in
Yeah,
there?
because the last Final Fantasy game on Nintendo console was what 6 on the SNES, I think.
yeah, I think so.
Like,
they haven't had the
Seven never came out on a thing console.
I didn't
on
even know they
Nintendo
had
thing.
a Final Fantasy game on the.
I think
Nintendo.
so.
I think that
Yeah,
was
the
their main
old ones.
console.
Yeah, the old ones, because you didn't have there was no Sony at the time. There were no
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It was
Mhm.
Nintendo and Sega, and I don't think it was at all on the Sega. So I'm pretty sure it was on
Yeah.
the NES, SNES, etc. Game Boy even maybe. There were like remakes on the Game Boy or Virtual Console perhaps for the
I know Tactics and stuff that came out on
Yeah.
Game Boys and stuff, but I don't know about the actual like
Yeah.
Final Fantasy ass games.
But yeah, like I don't know. I like Cloud as an addition, even if he is another human swordsman. I think that's really cool. His level looks awesome. You can summon all those crazy gods
Yeah.
from the Final Fantasy VII, and
He has. They showed the limit break thing that he does.
Yeah, that's
isn't
cool.
isn't that basically the same thing as was it the boxer
Mac?
Little Mac
Like it
Little Mac's
charges
thing?
up
Like the
I
more you
don't
get
know
hit.
if it's gonna act the same way because I mean they haven't released
Yeah.
information as far as I know, but it looks like that would be the obvious
Yeah.
way to do it, and I think that's awesome.
So how Little Macs work is if you get hit, your meter goes up.
Mhm.
I think it's the other way around. Like if you hit people, your meter goes
Little
up.
Mac, it's both actually.
Oh, it's just
Oh,
if
is it
you're
really?
active.
It's both when you get hit and when you hit people.
Oh, I had no idea. Okay,
Yeah,
that's cool.
So it might be the same way.
What I
Yeah.
don't like though is that Cloud's ultimate, you know, like his smash
Yeah.
ball or whatever, it's the
Cuts
same
the-
as Greninja's. It's the same as I think Link's, that he just traps you and like hits you. You know what I mean? And then you go flying. It's
Right.
that. It's like that one where
Oh.
you're just like suspended and you're just getting hit by him.
Yeah.
So I think they really dropped they reuse that ultimate ability a lot.
Yeah.
And even one of the Pokemon has that ability in the Wii U version. Like when you do the Pokeball and you bring him out. I forgot his Zoroark, that dark guy. He does the same exact ultimate as Greninja. Same thing. Yeah. Like it's just a carbon copy, and I think I think that's a little cheap. I think I wasn't impressed by that at all. But
that's the ultimate, right? The
it's
ultimate,
his
like
smash
the
ability.
ball, the smash thing.
Yeah, it's his smash ball ultimate, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In like professional games, do they play with that thing or no? I doubt it.
I don't think so, man.
Okay.
I think professional games are no items.
Yeah. No items, like no items
at all. 2 lives, but
one-on-one.
One-on-one, but they have done it recently where like they'll be pretty flexible with what maps. So they'll do the maps with like platforms and stuff. It won't be Final Destination only.
Oh.
Yeah, they'll do different
Omega?
maps. Yeah, they have like a list of like tolerated maps that you can do a pro game on. Yeah. And some of them are not Omega and they're not Final Destination.
That's pretty cool.
That's awesome. I
awesome.
think that's great. But it helps some characters over others. Like some characters excel in maps that have platforms. Some are good on only a flat plane. Yeah. What else, man? What else did they cover in the direct ski?
Yeah, so they Mario Tennis is coming out very soon. November 20th.
Yeah.
Dude, Mario Tennis is one of my favorite Nintendo games, actually. Yeah. It's like a top 10. It's cool.
They can't ruin that. There's no
It's
way.
great. No, it's great.
I mean, it's impossible almost.
So I don't think they can ruin it, but I feel like I don't know what else they can add to it.
Nothing.
Like is it just going to be like the N64 Mario Tennis, just like 1080?
No, actually, you get bigger. You get huge. Like there's a power up where like your
tennis player
so
there's like different
giant
power ups, like mushrooms.
It's only that one's the only one that's been like the main feature. Like,
for sure.
That's like a main feature of this one is that your character grows like in the middle of the match and like you're just a giant on the tennis field.
Yeah, I'm expecting some liberties, but it's more or less going to be the same game.
Yeah,
man. It's just a good game.
Do you guys know the price point for it? Is it $60?
I'm gonna guess so. Yeah, I'm gonna just go ahead and say that it's $60 and like at minimum
really
40.
Like I really want to get that game, but I can't justify paying $60 for that.
Really?
If it's just like tennis.
What if it's online? What if it has online?
No, it's okay. It's definitely gonna have online.
Then I would get it for that. It's the same thing as getting a Splatoon, or it's the same thing as getting a Mario Maker. Like,
I agree. Take any game and put an MMR system on it, like ranking, and you'll want to play it more.
You'll justify that 60 somehow.
Yeah. I truly believe that, dude.
Yeah. No, for sure.
What else are we looking at, man?
The dates for Xenoblade and Star Fox. So Xenoblade is coming out later this year, which is, I want to say, December.
Yeah.
Like December 15 or so. And Star Fox is coming July of next year.
So I want to talk about Star Fox because we mentioned it last time, right? And me and Emmy were just kind of saying like it looked like shit. The recent trailer that they just brought out coinciding with the Direct, it looks great. I don't know what they did. Maybe they chose different footage. Maybe they did fix it and update it and just make it better. Make the trailer like more immersive or more, not immersive. Immersive is the wrong word, but they made it more, I guess, like exciting.
So what looks great about it?
It just looks really fun. It just looks very fun. It looks like the Star Fox I grew up with, just better.
It looks a lot more refined than what they showed earlier.
And like you see like the, like the tank, you're on the tank on the sand level and you're fighting the bosses. Like everything just looks like Star Fox should look, except now in like quote unquote the future. With that, like we were talking last week about how you mentioned, Maher, like, most Nintendo games aren't really up to snuff with graphics. Like they don't have to be. And me and Amin said, well, Star Fox looks even worse than that. I think that now it's gone to the level where we can say, okay, it's still not amazing graphically, but it's where Nintendo's generally at now. Mm-hmm. So that's what made it look really good.
Okay.
Yeah, that it fits more with Nintendo's general aesthetic lately.
Do you guys think they'll ever take the jump and just make everything beautiful, like for no reason?
I think so. I think the NX has been promised to be like a current gen
monster. I am very curious about what the NX is going to be because I feel like that's going to be... They've always been trying to push towards handheld and console kind of coming together, and I feel like it's going to be something like that. I feel like it's going to be a handheld that you could plug into your television.
Maybe that would be kind of cool, I suppose. I look forward to their innovation.
Then I don't know if I like that.
Yeah,
I don't know if I like that.
Give us some power, like give us a console. Like I don't want a handheld.
Dude, if I'm playing
if I want a handheld, I'll go get the DS.
Yeah. If I'm playing a handheld, I'm going to want to like It's like you're in bed or you're sitting somewhere and it's like cozy, it's tiny. You're looking down at it.
I don't play my 3DS anywhere other than in my bed right before I'm about to sleep.
No,
There's no other place.
It would just be kind of stupid to like connect it to like a projector or a TV and just play without even looking down at the handheld,
Yep.
I mean, just make it a controller at that point.
Yeah.
Which is what the gamepad is.
Which is what they've done, with the Wii U.
But, I mean, you mentioned Xenoblade as well.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be a cool game. I think it looks good. But have you guys heard about the controversy surrounding Xenoblade?
No.
Basically, the Japanese version of Xenoblade has like for the female characters has a breast slider, so you can change the shape of the breast or whatever, like the size of the breast.
Sure. Max it out.
And yeah, I guess. And yeah, Mr. Mahead over here, max it out. No, I'm just kidding. And in the American version, no breast slider. So a lot of people are up in arms because like, why are you censoring this? Like, what's going on? And it just got me thinking about censorship in video games in general. So I suppose I just kind of wanted to get your guys' thoughts like on what you think, like, because there's a lot of precedent about censorship in games. So yeah, like, I don't know how I personally feel about it. I don't think it detracts really, but I understand why someone could be upset. And then I understand as well why someone would criticize that upset person and saying it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like a lukewarm discussion to me, but maybe you guys have like different thoughts.
No, the first thing I thought of when you were saying that is, listen, I just want to give a shout out to one game that just did not give a single shit about censorship and
What
just
game?
laid it out for us. South Park: The Stick of Truth.
Oh yeah, no, dude.
Oh yeah.
I haven't played it, bro, but
where you can be a Jew as a class.
Yep.
And the whole idea behind being a Jew as a class is that the more damage you take, the stronger you get.
That's actually pretty funny, dude. That is pretty funny.
That's incredibly clever.
That's
That is
clever and
very
also
funny.
fucked up, but it's cool that like they didn't censor it.
It's fucked up, but it's South Park,
Yeah, no, it is.
They always push the boundaries. And I'd just like to say I'm so glad that they made the foray into gaming and making a game.
Dude,
well, they had before.
It looked like a legitimate episode or like whatever of the
It was
show.
one long episode.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it was cool.
It felt like a season.
You know who made it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obsidian.
Yep.
Obsidian made that game.
Yeah.
What else has Obsidian done?
They did Fallout New Vegas. They did like Neverwinter Nights 2. They've done the Pillars of Eternity that just came out.
They know RPGs.
Yeah, they're
and like the RPG part of South Park was pretty good.
No, it
Yeah.
was good.
Yeah.
It was good. And the game could be difficult at that point.
At the harder difficulties, like you have to watch like, oh, this person does poison damage, so I need poison resist. Or
No, it was very
Yeah.
well made. Al Gore was a very
That
hard
was-
boss.
Yeah,
man.
Al Gore's a boss.
Al Gore's
Yeah.
the boss.
Dude,
Al
that's
Gore,
too funny.
Al Gore as Man Bear Pig.
Really? Does he have like different phases? Like first he's Al Gore and then Man Bear Pig, or is all Man Bear
no,
Pig?
he's just Man Bear Pig, and when he gets pissed off, when you hit him a lot, he calls his bodyguards, and his bodyguards have guns, and they come to shoot you up. It's a very hard fight.
That's cool.
That game is just incredible, man. And I just wanted to bring it up because of the whole censorship thing you were
All
talking
right,
about.
dude. I'm down. I'm glad someone's
Yeah.
sticking it to like the recent, trend. I guess.
If there's one,
Stick of truth, huh?
Sticking it. Oh,
Very
shit.
good.
Yeah, a pun
You guys love that
unintended,
shit.
but rather apt. Yeah. But yeah, man. Like in general, like games have just hit a point where it's like a fork in the road, in my opinion, or not a fork. It's like a split in the road. Like you can either consider games like entertainment and children's like indulgence or whatever, or you can start to consider it art. Okay. And so that's like a huge thing in and of itself. But if you're considering it art, then why do you go ahead and censor it based on like cultural norms?
I
and
don't
stuff?
think it's mutually exclusive.
I don't. Yeah, exactly. I was about to say that. I mean, it kind of depends on what their goal is.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
It depends on the game. Like same thing about movies. Like there might be movies that are just mindless fun.
But
You might not necessarily call it art.
really, that's okay. Well, that's interesting to me because like to me, like the cinema is just an artistic expression, right? So
No, it
regardless
is.
of whether a movie's good or bad or mindless or whatever, it's still artistic in some way, even if it's not up your alley, right?
Okay.
That's at least so I think.
Have you seen
And-
Shoot 'Em Up?
Yeah.
I have not seen that.
I have. It's a decent movie.
That's a
It's
good
pretty
movie.
fun.
That's just purely fun.
Yeah.
Man. That's purely fun. I don't know if I'd call Clive Owen like killing people with carrots art, But
dude, it's postmodern, bro. What can like? I'm not necessarily all about that like postmodern relativist, like oh anything is art type of thing. But like I can see where it has its merits. Like
no.
you know,
Film is a different beast, but video games, they pick and choose, I think, when to be like a work
when
of
they're
art.
entertainment and when they're art.
Yeah, exactly. Although we were just talking about Nintendo. Nintendo sometimes blurs the line. I don't know, man. Sometimes I'll be playing a Mario game and like Super Mario 3D World. And
dude, that's art. That's like straight up art.
See, that's why it's an interesting conversation, because you're just running around getting coins and killing little mushrooms.
Bro, it looks just so good. The music, like, how can you not call it art, dude? How in your right mind?
The line is blurred.
Yeah.
I think the important thing to take away from this is that we've come to the point where the line is blurred at times.
Okay, but then where does that leave censorship then? Like, what does that do for like how games are censored? Like, Manhunt was not allowed in Germany. You know what I mean? Back in the day, Rockstar's Manhunt wasn't allowed in Germany. When GTA San Andreas came out, they like had a huge tiff because of that hot coffee mod or whatever. You know, like I mean, and they wanted to censor that. And like, where do you draw the line? There was like a huge controversy over Mass Effect sex scenes. Like, where is it, dude? What's tasteful? What's not? Is it art? Is it not? Like, you could cry all day that the lines are blurred, but what does that do? What does that mean for games now?
Listen, man. I mean, speaking personally, that you gave the example of the breast, right? Increasing the size of the breast
on Xenoblade, yeah.
On Xenoblade. See, that's not something that I would particularly be up in arms about. I mean,
yeah, me neither. I don't care.
It does limit expression. It does limit you, especially since the developers themselves like had the idea of making that an option. But it's a different story when it has to do with the narrative, when they censor the narrative. You know, like let's say someone is pissed off and they don't want them to cuss a certain way. That should not be up to the discretion of
not
the
every
people
game
who
has a
censor it.
narrative though, and not every game has a good narrative or one that matters really to the game itself. Like Call of Duty's narrative, does it really matter? But
no,
and yet Call of Duty, like every year they hash out another title and just gore on blood on everything and no one bats an eye. But then they have lately, I mean, things are getting better, but like they have sex scenes in some games and people are just like crazy, you know.
That's
about
an age-old hypocrisy, man.
of America, right?
People being more afraid of sex or sexual innuendo than someone blowing someone's head off with a shotgun.
Well, that's how it is here. Not so much
in Europe.
Yeah.
Europe, they don't care. I don't think
Yeah.
they care about violence more.
Yep.
Like because Manhunt was not allowed in Germany
because that makes
instance.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean, it makes sense, but it's just interesting, I
That's
suppose.
still censorship, you know? Like, there's still blocking off
And like
an
you
avenue
know,
of expression.
a lot of Japanese games, they have really like weird stuff in them. Like the breast slider, for instance, is one thing, and that's even tame. But like you have like this game called like Danganronpa, where it's like basically like these weird female ninjas, and it's like this odd game. I can't really explain it because I don't know how to explain it. It's just a very odd game.
Okay.
It's a Japanese game, but when it's here, like they have more or less revealing outfits, and like there's less focus on like their sexual aspects because they're young kids like in the game. But like in Japanese culture, that doesn't matter so much because they're full breasted or whatever, and like it's animated, it's not real, you know, like they don't care. So like, you know, it's the same thing. Europe doesn't care about sex as much. We don't care about violence, and Japanese don't care about their weird, you know, like their weird kind of sexuality type thing as well.
It seems like a minefield, man, especially if you're making a game that's going to be released across the globe.
Yeah.
You know, for the very reason that you just explained, it seems like it's just hard to manage because some people get offended at something, others don't.
Yeah.
And it's just reversed.
What can you do, I guess? I don't know. To me, I don't think games should be censored, period.
Yep.
That's just my verdict on it. Like, doesn't matter what culture, where it goes. Like, even something so tame as like the cover art for like a game, I don't think it should be different from place to place based on the like societal like norms or whatever. It should be always, every game should be, every piece of art, everything should always be as the person who created it intended for you to indulge.
But if, let's say that a developer knows that a certain region of the world, like Germany, let's say, they don't like gore.
Yeah.
Right? Then what if they don't want to, they censor themselves just so they could get better sales?
That's on them, I suppose. You bring up a good point. Like, that's their responsibility to realize or not realize and deal accordingly. However, I would still say that's them buckling under a pressure that I believe should not exist for the medium
Yeah.
insofar as you consider it art.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, I agree.
If
but
you just consider it entertainment that's like made for specific demographics, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Censor all you like because you want the sales, right? But if your like banner is pretty much games are art, there's no reason to censor it. I think games are artistic no matter what. I think they're works of art in their own way, so I don't know.
I think that also depends on the company that's making it and how much authority they wield. You know, I mean, like
They wield like a sword. Like
no,
this
like an established
authority.
Yeah.
an established company would have less reservations about censoring something for the sake of censoring something, rather than someone like a small developer, for example, that's just trying to get like their first game out and doesn't want to necessarily offend people.
But
there are
it's-
just so many factors to consider.
You know, even in juxtaposition, there are so many factors, but a lot of indie games will go ahead and not censor, and then a lot of big companies will censor. It honestly just
Yeah.
depends, I think, on what the market is. Like a lot of indie games will try to push the envelope, and a lot of big companies will be like, we don't want to offend these people. We don't want to offend these people. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Just honestly, it just depends, I suppose. I just wanted to hear what you
Yeah.
boys thought.
There are some developers that they don't really give a shit. Have you guys heard of Hatred? You guys
Yeah,
know
what the
that game
hell?
is?
No.
It's
You know
an
what? A
isometric
Polish
shooter.
developer? It's a Polish developer,
Polish,
just
yeah.
like Witcher's developer, dude. Poland, bro. Poland's all the way, dude. I love Poland's
Yeah.
shit. Yeah, no, they're great.
Basically, it's an isometric shooter that it's a murder simulator. You're
Yeah.
a guy shooting up a school or a
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, straight up, you could kill like babies. I think you could kill women. You could do whatever you
Wow.
want.
That's
It's
what
all
the
just
game is
murder.
about. Yeah.
Yeah.
It once I don't know if it was on early access or whatever, but like a few months ago, it got quite a bit of controversy.
Yep.
Um,
It's called Hatred?
Yeah.
Hatred.
It's basically like a guy who like hates the world and just goes around killing.
On a killing spree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus.
It's like Postal, but like less elegant than Postal.
Yeah.
And Postal wasn't even that elegant to begin with, so.
Yeah. All right, guys, let's go ahead and take a little break,
All right.
and we'll be right back.
Perfect.
Sounds good.
So, guys, I've been playing Fallout 4 recently. Got it day of. Unlocked it that night. And I've basically been playing, not nonstop, but pacing myself and enjoying it to the extent that it allows. And so I wanted to give my first impressions. Basically, I've come to learn that Fallout's the kind of game that you really need to open yourself up to. You can't go in with expectations of its past iterations or like hold it up to other RPGs. It does what it does very well. And it's very hard to explain what it does and how it does it well. But I wanted to paint you guys like a picture basically of that. It was my third day playing and everything came into place. Like the entire game clicked for me in this sunken town called Forest Grove Marsh. So I had the radio turned off in the game. And I heard only the ambient orchestral track that Bethesda had composed. And I want to just say that this is quite possibly the best soundtrack that they have done in all of their games, rivaling Skyrim's dynamic music. It's not classical. It's not their oldies radio. It's really its own atmosphere. It's comprised of these like rolling bass like sounds, like low, like, and they're kept in melody like by this light taps of the piano. So you have these like keys coming in to like remind you that there's a rhythm and a melody. And then you cue in like this very smooth violin or this light Irish flute from like, the Boston immigrants, you know what I mean? The Commonwealth, to really make like, it makes you feel desolate. It makes you feel like the only thing there is that music and your heartbeat. Okay. So that's what I'm going into. I'm going into Forest Grove Marsh with this music, right? And I'm scoping things out. I've never been to this place. It's the first time it's the third day and I've gone to this place, right? And more than half the town is like sunken in water. It's flooded. And the water is irradiated, right? So if you enter the water, you're basically going to get your Geiger counter going like tick, 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 like just crawling on you, and you're getting your radiation poisoning. There's tons of broken down cars, boarded up houses. There's like dilapidated scenery and rubble everywhere. And basically you think that this is going to be like a gimmicky place, I suppose, because of the, like, it's very like close to where you start, and it's kind of post-apocalyptic, like at its core. Like it's like the trope of post-apocalyptic. There's it's sunken, so you can't get through it on the roads or anything. You have to basically rely on the walkways on the roofs, right? And they're very purposefully put. So you're like, who put this? Who did this? Later on, you learn that a woman had put these walkways up. A woman had put these walkways up because she was trying to harvest the ferns, like the radiated ferns on top of the buildings that were growing to sell to Diamond City, like merchants, right? So by the time I was on my second walkway, I started to see like the little red dots on my compass, like that indicated enemies. I'm playing a melee build, so a sneak melee build. So I have my pipe iron, or my tire iron. Sorry, I have my tire iron, and I'm sneaking around, skulking. I have very low perception on my special skills, so I have no idea what's around me. I just see the little dots, and some enemies are showing up as lower than me. Some are showing up as higher than me. Some are far away, and I don't know how far away. It's all feral ghouls, dude. It's all these like zombie creatures that are lying down in crevices or like hidden away that you can't even see under the water. You don't know where they are, what they're doing. You just see the little dots. Okay. They're not moving yet. They just get up as you're moving along through Forest Grove Marsh. They just get up and they just growl. They do this growl and they just start charging at you. And they're fucking fast, dude. I played the other Fallouts and I've never been this scared. I'm like, this game just inspires fear in you. Like, I'm scared because they're very quick. It's like a very sobering Left 4 Dead. It's like they're quick. They just tackle you down. They have no kind of regard for you. They just see you as like meat, and you feel like meat. That's all you are. You're just a target for them. You're not an autonomous being. You're just a target, right? So I would see like my dog would run up, my dog meat. He would just run up and start like chewing on them to keep like one at bay while I'm like trying to fight off another one. And like I'm taking out my pipe pistol, my shitty pistol that I got like in the beginning because the melee is just not working out, dude. It's not working out because these guys aren't responding well. Like I'm able to kill them in like 2-3 hits, but there's like 3 of them swarming me, running around, and they kill me in like 1 hit or 2 hits. I can't really do anything about it. So halfway through the town, I'm like, okay, dude, I got no ammo because I just wasted it on like the first few. I got no healing. I'm out, but I'm stubborn, right? Like I want to leave, but at the same time, that doesn't make any sense to me. I played these games before. I'm like, no, fuck no. Like I'm gonna conquer this area, right? Like I'm feeling it. Like I'm feeling like for the first time, like holy shit, like there's something here. There's something here, and I created it out of myself, right? Like I created it due to my personality playing the game. So I'm just walking through the town, basically on the rafters, on the walkways, trying to balance, trying not to fall into the irradiated water. And I'm just like, is that movement over there? Like, oh, better be careful. Let me sneak in this building. Oh, okay, there's a walkway up. All right, this will be a better vantage point. Oh, shit. Cool. Nice. An ammo container. Oh, fuck. It's like shotgun ammo. I don't have a shotgun. Fuck me, dude. Something spotted me. You know, like all these different things, all these different like just thoughts are like racing through my head. And then all of a sudden, just the action erupts. Like I got detected, and then, okay, that's it. I'm getting swarmed and running atop the roofs, and I'm trying to like outrun them. Eventually, like I clear it. I clear the whole place. Like out of God knows what gumption I had to like even deal with all these ghouls, like just trying to get on me. My dog is like indispensable. My dog was like absolutely like as a companion, like I couldn't have done it without him. He like found the enemies before I did. He was able to like, what he does is like, he has an animation where he grabs them by the foot and he like drags them across, like just like with his teeth, you know, like he's like a fucking, just a hound, you know? But the thing is, I'm not rewarded with anything. I'm rewarded with like a bit of the story. Like I said, like the woman like put up the walkways. I'm rewarded with a little more healing supplies. I'm rewarded with ammo, but there was no like overarching thing that I was doing. It wasn't a dungeon like in Skyrim. It wasn't like this kind of quest. I stumbled upon this, and it was just part of the world that I got to experience. And I'm just going to say, like, in reality, that's what Fallout 4 is. It isn't this freeform like experience that you can like create your character painstakingly and have like these stats build up, and every movement you make just affects the world in like these impenetrable, like imperceptible ways that you don't even understand yet. And like their narrative is not that original. It's not that imaginative. It's very like, it's very linear in the way that the game presents itself to you, but it presents itself in such a way that you experience it having so much in your mind, in your body. Like there's so much that you can observe and indulge in the game, and yet it's only those specific things. So I feel like everybody criticizes this game so harshly in one breath. They're just saying it's like, this is bad. It lacks these RPG elements. It lacks this. It's not as good as Fallout 3. It's not as good as New Vegas, what have you. But then in the next breath, this is what I've just encountered everywhere. They're telling you, yeah, all this stuff, it's really bad, blah, blah, blah. But I'm just going to go back and play it because it's so fun. I can't put it down. And it's exactly because of things like Forest Grove Marsh. Like that entire area is what the game is about. It literally presents for you something that no other game gives you. It presents for you like this sobering experience that just immerses you completely, from the music to the way that you're sneaking, to the way that your dog is like prowling with you and dragging off the ghouls, to the how like the Geiger counter ticks when you're in the water just a little bit and you're trying to hop from like these hoods of these cars that are popping out of the fucking water. Like those things I can't experience anywhere else except for Fallout, despite its faults. You know what I mean?
That was a portrait of Fallout 4 by John Danho.
Oh,
A
man.
portrait, huh? Hang that shit in a museum. That'd be nice, man. Audio recording just there.
That was cool, man. I love this game. I really do love this game. I have a lot of good things to say about it.
But yeah, so you were talking about faults. Like, tell me, like, what faults? Like, what are you talking about?
Well, bro, I mean, the game just does not integrate well with itself. So
What does that mean?
I'll tell you what it means. So basically, there's like a lot of design decisions that don't exactly make sense. For instance, I'll bring up the charisma thing. Well, basically that you can invest in charisma, right? That's part of your special.
Okay.
You can invest in charisma, you can put points in it, but all the charisma checks in the game are percentage based, and you don't get to take a gander at what the percentages are. Whereas in Fallout 3 you did. New Vegas got rid of that for raw score. You just need a raw score to pass the checks. And I believe I prefer New Vegas's method, by the way. But yeah, so you don't get to see the charisma percentages. And so it leads me to believe that I wasted points in my charisma, and I wasted points in taking the perks for the lady killer, which help your persuasion attempts with women and stuff like that. Like they lead me to believe that those things just ended up being wastes for me.
Is there no way of telling like how that improves your chance with?
There's probably a
doing all
way,
that?
like if you're on PC and like, you know, someone's looking in the game files or someone's looking in whatever.
Oh,
like,
that's not what I mean. That's not what I mean. Like I'm saying, for as a player, like you don't know if your 3 points in charisma is going to give you like a 10%
I don't know.
increase. It doesn't tell you.
Don't know because of the radial thing now. You know, like you guys have seen it. Mahed, you played, so you see the conversations, right? It's like 4 options.
Yeah, and then
you
one of
do
them's
up,
yellow.
down, left, right, and one of them is like highlighted a little more brightly if it's like a persuasion option. If it's harder to do, then it's like a little more red. Like
Okay.
it goes from like yellow to like orange to like a darker red, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that, I guess that's the answer to your question.
Okay, yeah.
That helps you determine, but that doesn't tell you if your points matter. That just tells you how difficult it is to persuade them.
You know what? I'm fine with that, man.
I don't like it.
I'm fine with that. I mean, dude, how does real life charisma work? You think you're charming somebody, like you'll lay your charm on like 10 people, and eight of them would buy it, and then 2 of them just don't buy it.
Yeah, but I would like to know my chance, I suppose. Like, I suppose I'm an RPG player at heart. Like, I want to know my chance. I want to know, like, the numbers involved. I want to know that. Like, the game gets rid of those very core elements.
Yeah.
Like, it gets rid of the stat buildup. Like, it gets rid of, like, oh, I have, like, 58 points in lockpick. I have 26 points in hacking, you know, whatever. It gets rid of those things. It gets rid of, like, your specialization in favor of perks, which are cool. It's like a replacement. It defines how you play and stuff. But as I said, some things just feel like a waste now, you know? Now in hindsight, it feels like a waste. Whereas in other Fallout games, I kind of always knew what I wanted to do, and the game kind of cultivated itself for me because it always had options for me, you know? So, yeah. it just feels like they're sacrificing on some of the core things that made the previous iterations great, which is how I began the story, right? I'm like, you can't put it up to those previous iterations if you're going to enjoy it. That's just kind of the nature of the beast right now.
Yeah, it just seems like they're kind of streamlining the entire like RPG part of it just to make it a bit more accessible.
Yeah.
Which, it makes sense. Like,
Bro,
Fallout
it's a
4
market.
is a wide release. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, they know what they're doing, 100%.
Yeah.
Like, say what you will about Bethesda, this game is like hitting the marks. Like 400,000 plus people concurrently on Steam at any given time, and that's PC, their weakest market. Please get real, dude. They're just outselling themselves.
Really? Would you say PC is their weakest market?
PC is their weakest market.
From what I've been reading, that's the way to play it.
That is the way to play it, but it's their weakest market.
Hmm.
That's not the market that's giving them the most money. They made $750 million, dude, off of this game. That's what I read on Reddit. So I'm pretty sure that's not off of PC alone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely not. Their console market is absolutely huge after Skyrim.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's
Yeah.
big.
Yeah,
And-
you've been playing it on consoles, right, Meher?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so how's that? Because I've been reading a lot of kind of just problems that, like frame rate drops and glitchiness and all that.
That is a problem.
Have you been noticing it?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I'll see like a companion or someone who you talk to and just decides to walk away from you, and sometimes he'll just like sort of stand in place and just shake.
Well, I mean, that's sort of the AI of it, though, right? Like, so would you say like the AI is not that strong?
I mean, I don't know if it's the AI or if it's a bug. I'm pretty sure it's a bug. I'm pretty sure it's a bug.
Have you encountered anything like game breaking on the PS4? Like anything that like just halted your progress and you had to like quit the game, reload or whatever?
Not at all. No.
I've
not at
encountered
all.
one
Cool.
thing.
What?
I went into an elevator, and the elevator is supposed to take you from inside the Commonwealth Bank outside back into ruined Boston. And the elevator, you just stay in the elevator forever. Like it just goes down forever.
Oh man.
Like I couldn't. So I just had to reload and find a new place to exit
Oh, man,
the building.
you're going
from.
all the way down.
Yeah, no, I'm going down to hell, man. I guess that's
Man.
Click the wrong button.
yeah.
I'd say just deal with it, man.
Yeah,
Just
to be
deal
honest.
with it. This game.
No, that is unacceptable. Game breaking shit is unacceptable. Like how is that okay? Just deal with it. No.
It's an amazing game. It's an amazing game, and if that happens to one John Danho, I will accept it.
That's the thing.
I
Though.
will
It's not
accept his
only happening-
sacrifice.
It's not only happening to a one John Danho.
To the John Danhos of the world, whatever. Man,
I don't
you know what?
There are a lot of people experiencing bugs, dude. I can't like neglect them, but I
Yeah.
have experienced really nothing except that one. So my experience has been like pretty pristine, really.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I am just personally just overtaken by admiration for this game.
In what way? Like,
I'll tell you exactly what way, man. Probably the greatest thing about this game, in my opinion, is how memorable some of the levels are,
Yeah.
or the areas.
I agree.
That to me is honestly the first thing that comes to my head if someone were to ask me, what's your favorite thing about Fallout?
It creates memories, dude. It does exactly what we're doing now. It lets us talk about like these great things about it.
And you know what? I'm going to
Yeah.
bring up a specific example from a past game and the current game. So, Megaton, guys.
Yeah.
The city in Fallout 3.
yeah.
With
Megaton.
the sheriff, with the black sheriff that had the hat that I wanted. Yeah.
What about Megaton? I remember everything about that city. I remember how it looks.
Yeah.
I remember how the stairs were. I remember how the apartments looked. I just remember everything about that city because they just it's purely atmospheric, And the level design is so well executed that it's not something that you would forget, like many other games. Like GTA, for example. It's a sort of strange example to bring up, but GTA, large world.
Yeah.
Large world. Some areas you'll just go to and get out of,
Yeah.
and you'll forget it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll forget how it looks.
I'll say to that, dude, very interestingly enough, to this day, I still remember the layout of Grand Theft Auto 3's Liberty City. I love that whole city.
Good
But-
game design.
Yeah, it's great game design, and I don't think they matched it with any of their other games. Yeah, no.
So the point I was bringing up, the reason why I brought up Megaton is because I think in the new game, Diamond City achieves the same thing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That, to me, was the first test for this game, the first true test. Right before I was about to enter Diamond City, I thought to myself, am I instantly going to look at this city and think, wow, this is beautiful, and I'll remember it after I leave. And I truly did.
Yeah.
I walked in, and it was everything
Yeah.
that I could have wanted in a city and how it's supposed to look.
So, I mean, you're
Just
not
beautiful.
playing, right?
I'm
so,
not playing.
Yeah. So, Diamond City is basically a city inside of a baseball stadium.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So, you have the poor people sitting on or living on the bottom, working on the bottom and stuff like that. Kind of like the worker class or whatever, like
Yeah.
the game, the lore demands of them. And then on the rafters and on the stands and everything like that are
People
the
who
richer
run the city,
people,
yeah.
and the higher they are, and the mayor has the box office. Like the mayor has like the like the window, like in a games now. If
Yeah.
you go to baseball, like you get like the box seats. He's in the box, and
Very
he has like
cool.
a secretary and stuff. It's really funny, yeah. So I mean, dude, yeah, I definitely remember all the alleys of. I mean, I'm only played for 40 hours, but I've been playing recently, so maybe that's why it's fresh on my mind. But I remember like where the buildings are, the distinct places. Like I know that Nick's detective agency is like in the back, in between like the kind of the darkness, the dark alley of the stands and stuff. Like it's cool.
No, man, that's just something that Bethesda is amazing at.
Yeah.
Because they did the same thing in Skyrim. You know,
yeah, man. I remember what Solitude looks like. I remember what all those
Whiterun
other city,
looks
Whiterun
like.
looks
Yeah,
like.
Whiterun.
all of
Yeah.
them, right?
Yeah.
You remember every single
Yeah.
one of them, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's good and it's bad. So you remember all of them. That's great. Like it's very memorable, and exactly, Mahed, I'm with you on the exact same page. But it's bad because you remember them in part due to their size. They're very small and kind of underwhelming in a way sometimes. When
No,
in
not necessarily.
hindsight,
It's just
in
because
hindsight.
it's constructed, like all of their cities are constructed with certain things in mind. Like it makes sense.
yeah. Well, it makes sense until you realize why is like
In their-
the
in
capital
their
of
world.
Skyrim only like 10 people and like 5 buildings. Like that.
Yeah.
It makes sense up until that point. but
Suspension of disbelief.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
I'm with
Yeah.
you, dude. I'm with you guys. Trust me. Like I've been, I was telling Mahed earlier. Someone yesterday called me a Bethesda apologist. Like I'll apologize for their games till the day I die. I'll just defend them. And to some extent, it's true. I'm with you guys on the same page.
Yeah.
But you gotta understand also like a little bit of the facts too. Like their places are kind of they're good consistently with their own design, like level design and stuff like that. But taking in a larger context, like why is Diamond City as small as it is, like,
Yeah.
or why is Good Neighbor, the other settlement, as small as it is? They should probably be a little bigger, like a little more investment into the development of those cities.
I mean, engine limitations.
Yeah,
and,
tons of the-
you
Bro,
know,
John,
like,
you're
there's
gonna-
a lot of reasons.
You're gonna enjoy video games that are made 20 years from now.
Oh yeah.
They'll
Yeah.
probably be able to satisfy your
Every
incredible
whim.
No,
expectations.
20 years
John.
from now, I will have higher expectations.
Yeah,
you know?
I think so. Dude, like Witcher 3's Novigrad, place is huge, place is awesome. And while I don't remember every nook and cranny, it's very much like a fantasy city. Like it's cool. Like
Yeah.
I appreciated it so much, So it's just different tastes. Like I can accept Fallout 4's places for what they are. I'm not arguing that at all. Just if we're being critical, it could always be better.
By the way, the new VAT system, the new
Oh.
fighting system, I think it's worth mentioning that they've done a great job sort of moving ahead, like advancing.
Yeah.
Not letting it be stale, not letting it be exactly how it was in Fallout 3.
Yeah, like we were talking about this 2 weeks ago. Like how is it? How is the new VATS?
Oh.
Like, did you guys feel like it's?
I
like,
need it.
does
I'm
feel
melee.
good?
I need it. I can't do melee
Oh,
without
that's
it.
right. You're doing like a brawler.
Yeah, no.
Dude,
Not even just the idea of the VAT system, but what they've done with it. You know how it was actually a criticism for some people who were turned off by Fallout 3 that I've heard, that, pausing the gameplay is just kind of cheap. It felt to
Yep.
some people kind of cheap.
That was my big problem with
Yeah.
Fallout 3.
Like everything just stops,
Yep.
This fixes that. It fixes that. It just makes everything super slow.
Yeah.
So you can still die while you're in the VAT system now. You could pause the game and everything will move slowly, and if you don't make your decision fast enough, someone will shoot you.
Dude,
Like,
I
your health will
panicked.
go down.
I panicked before in VATS. I'm like, where do I have to hit? Like, what am I going to do right now? Like, am I going to invest like 3 of my VATS action points on attacking this one guy and leave the other guy free? Or do I want to split it? Like, I've been under pressure before with VATS.
It's great. It
Yeah.
it
It's
blends real time decision making with giving you the freedom to plan out your moves.
As it should be. I think
as it
that's
should
a good
be.
idea.
It's,
Yeah.
in my opinion, it's honestly the perfection of the VAT system.
Mm.
It's what the next step should have been.
So like a big part of the VATS is like getting your action points. Like how quickly do you get back your action points?
There's a perk that lets you regenerate action points faster. There are certain weapons that you can get from legendary monsters that let you, when you're using that weapon, regenerate your action points.
Right.
There are some on a critical strike that like you get all your action points back. It's a thing that you just have and that you use up.
So yeah,
And-
like kind of like my question is, how often are you in VATS? Like, can you do it like very often in a fight, or is it just like one time in a fight and that's sort of it?
Let me just sort of illustrate
Go
like
for it.
like a fight. Like
Yeah.
I just did something. Like I was doing a mission where I'm supposed to disrupt like a drug deal or something.
Okay.
And I saw 4 dudes. Okay. And I'm in the beginning of the game. Keep that in mind. And I use a pistol, so I'm like a gunslinger, dude. Like I'm an explosives and pistol.
Very
dude.
nice.
You know,
You're like the fucking cowboy or something.
yeah, high perception. I come in, if I can't headshot you, I'll run away and throw a bomb at you. That's my thing.
Sounds good. A Molotov.
Yeah, Molotov.
Very cool.
So what I did was I walked in and I saw 4 dudes and I had 4 action points, right? So I thought to myself, well, I could spread this out. I could shoot each of these dudes once in the head and hope that they just die at point blank and I don't die.
Yeah.
But that's not really a great idea because I might miss one of them, you know, and even if I don't miss, I could shoot the dude in the ear and he won't die, you know, something like that. So I thought to myself, all right, dude, put 2 points in these 2 dudes each. Okay? So 2 on the first guy and 2 on the next guy, and don't even worry about the other 2.
Okay.
So that's what I did. And I blew both of their heads off.
It's great, dude. It looks so fun when you behead people.
Yeah,
Like,
it's incredible.
Oh, man,
It's incredible.
fantastic.
So I ran out of action points. So what I did was I started shooting at them normally. By the way, I'd like to point out that they've greatly improved the FPS aspect.
Yeah, bro,
of it.
it's so nice. It's so smooth.
It's
Yeah.
not a job to shoot them normally anymore.
No,
It's like
only
it feels
bugs.
like a regular shooter.
Shooting bugs is annoying.
Yeah.
But everybody else is cool.
So just to explain what I did was, I mean, I tried shooting at them. I was about to die, so I ran away and I just waited and I got my action points back. And as soon as they came around the corner looking for me, because I was just hiding, you know, I just used VATS again and shot them in the head.
Nice.
That's how it worked. It's very manageable. It's
Okay.
honestly very manageable. And the fact that the FPS aspect of it, the first person shooter aspect of it, is greatly improved means that overall the blend of gameplay is just absolutely
kind of
satisfying.
like my follow-up question to that. Like you're saying the FPS part of it is greatly improved. Can you play it as a shooter? Can I choose not to do VATS?
Ever?
And just ever.
You don't need to do VATS all the time.
I would
However,
say yes.
it helps, man. Like, I mean,
Yeah, okay,
there's no
fine.
reason not to use it, really.
Dude, and it's just such a cool cinematic sometimes.
yeah, no, it's good.
Like, they've really worked on how nice it looks when you use VATS.
just to illustrate like the immense difference in playstyle compared to what Maher was just saying. I'm melee and I use VATS basically to initiate the combat. I don't do it mid combat almost ever. So I use it to initiate the combat, and once I'm out of action points, I just got to deal, dude. It's a complete chaos. Like I'm literally with my Chinese officer's serrated sword just trying to slice people down as soon as I kill like the first group wave or whatever, like with my VATS. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's very different. Like each play style is going to be completely different. I feel
That
like.
seems like a really challenging way of playing the game.
It is, dude. It's melee's awful.
Yeah, I don't know
Yeah.
why you're doing that to yourself.
because
Yeah,
that's how
what
I
made
play.
you-
That's how
what
I
made you
played the
decide
other
that?
ones.
Mhm.
I love
That's
either
your thing?
unarmed melee. Like, dude, like that's how I just play. I'm in my Grognak costume. Like it's basically like a loincloth. And I'm just running around with a sword and a loincloth and like some pauldrons, you know. I have my guy has a martyr's left arm, which means basically when I'm at 20% or less health in combat, everything slows down.
Huh.
So it's
That's
really fun to like be matrixy and like run and like see the guy beheaded in really slow motion and stuff. So
So,
it's cool.
so you're saying everything slows down, like VATS slow down, like
Ev-
that's how slow
well,
down
I don't
it
do
goes?
VATS, as I said. Yeah, well,
No, but
VATS
like
is-
I'm just curious about like you're saying when you're under 20% health, everything slows down.
yeah, the game slows down when I do VATS.
To what degree?
Like
To the degree of VATS?
almost.
Okay.
Yeah. Everything slows down almost to the degree of VATS, but enough that the enemies are still reacting, still shooting and stuff like that. More so than they would be in VATS.
What is it? Is that a perk?
No, it's on my item. It's like
Oh,
a statistic of my item that I got as a random drop from a legendary. So the game basically spawns
Okay.
legendaries on you every now and then, and those legendaries have a chance to drop like cool gear, like Diablo style gear, like with weird stats and weird things on them. Like I know Shahan Maher, your brother, has a Fat Man, which is like a mini nuke shooter.
Yeah.
That it's special, like it dropped from a legendary that shoots an extra projectile.
Oh,
so it shoots
shit.
2 mini nukes at a time. That's absolutely
Yeah, it does.
retardedly cool. Like it's awesome. So I mean, like you can get really cool like little statistical things.
Do
Like
those items look any different? Does the legendary Fat
dude,
Man, like, does it look different from?
no,
a
it doesn't
regular
look
Fat
any
Man?
different. But I'll tell you this, dude. Like the item, the
mean,
weapons
doesn't
and stuff in the game are so well modeled. All the guns look really cool.
They are.
All the melee weapons look really. Everything is really like modeled well and
Cool.
animated well and stuff. So I'm impressed in that degree. But other than like special stuff, legendary drops don't differ aesthetically
Okay.
from like that I've seen anyway. Maybe
Yeah.
some do, but yeah. Yeah, man.
Cool. So, like, how does the entire legendary thing work? Like, every once in a while, you just bump into a legendary minion, and they're
Yeah.
just like beefier, kind of just stronger versions
Higher the
of.
difficulty.
Yeah, the higher the
regular-
difficulty, the more likely it is that you're going to run into them.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
okay.
there'll be like 2 in a pack of enemies or 1 in a pack of enemies. Like
Okay.
my first legendary was a legendary vicious dog, like in the back alley of Ruin Boston, in one of the back alleys, and I killed it and I got a cool like item. You know,
Nice.
I got a submachine gun that does 50 extra % damage to ghouls. So it just, you know, even if you don't use it, you get it.
Yeah.
I almost don't loot anything but legendaries anymore though. So yeah, I don't really find a use for much else.
How often do you bump into legendaries? Is it often enough?
Yeah,
Or not
very
really?
often.
Okay.
At least every 2 encounters, I'll run into 1 at least.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah,
How do you know
later
that they're
on
legendary?
in the game. Huh?
How do you know that they're legendary?
If they have a star by their name and their name says legendary.
Oh, okay.
It says legendary raider like scum and it's a star. That's literally one of the names
Legendary
of the
Raider scum.
Yeah,
huh?
that's
yeah, they're
literally
called
one-
Raider Scum.
or like legendary super mutant skirmisher. Yeah.
That's funny.
It's cool, man. I like the legendary system a lot actually. It's pretty nice and they're beefier, they're stronger. The annoying thing is you'll be fighting them and like I'm doing VATS, right? And I'm like slicing them down. And a lot of the time legendary monsters mutate. So what that means is you'll be attacking them. And when they get to a certain threshold of health, if you did not kill them already, they'll gain all their health back and get stronger in mid combat.
Cool.
Yeah. It's annoying when you're in VATS, but
you
it's
just gotta
cool in
burst
the,
them down.
Yeah. You got to burst them the fuck down, dude, with
Yeah.
my sword.
Yeah.
That's what I got. I got to slice them out.
Can you ever bump into like 2 or 3 legendaries at the same time?
Yeah, dude,
Or
I
is-
bumped into like
Oh,
2 or 3.
man.
It's pretty nasty, rhinoplasty.
Tough shit.
It's awful. Yeah, no, it's pretty, yeah,
Yeah.
it's rough McTuff. But yeah, dude, honestly, first impressions, 40 hours in, this game is phenomenal, but it doesn't hit all the notes that I would like it to hit. It's filled with brilliant moments and it's filled with great conversational pieces,
Yeah.
stuff that we could talk about for hours and hours and just like get into the minutia. But there's just like that mainstream aspect of it, that streamlined thing that doesn't appeal to me completely. Like I would have preferred a lot of things if they kept from New Vegas or otherwise. And as I said, like you can't compare it to those things. It's its own thing. And even as its own thing, it only does what it does well. Otherwise, it just kind of falls apart
Yeah.
really as an RPG and like everything else. Like it's not even a contender for me for like game of the year or anything. Like it's not even close in my opinion. So,
You know what,
and
John?
that's saying a lot, dude. I love Bethesda. But
Yeah.
I respect your opinion, but I'm going to have to just disagree because
Yeah.
I would give this game. So, I mean, shit, man, I haven't played that much yet. But as I've said, I think I mentioned this in a previous podcast, a game this ambitious needs to be, in my opinion, allowed just a little bit of breathing room. You know, I'm willing to overlook some of these minor technical
For
details
sure.
Yeah.
because a game of this ambition should have a lot more problems than it does right now, and it doesn't.
This is the cleanest launch by far in
It's-
Bethesda's gaming lineup,
Really?
dude.
It's
Oh, yeah.
lived up to it, man.
Yeah,
It's
no.
lived up to it. You know?
Dude,
I don't
I'll-
remember Skyrim being too rough.
Skyrim was rough McGruff, dude, for a lot of people. Yeah. I remember like my roommate Hike, he just couldn't run it on his PC for a little while. And like,
Oh,
it
man.
was just like very like buggy and a lot of people were crashing this, that. Like, I mean, they've gotten better, but it
Yeah.
is what it is. In the end, dude, like if I had to just like give an arbitrary point scale on it, I would give Fallout 4 first impressions 40 hours in, like a 7.58 out of 10. Yeah, so far.
9.1 out of 10 for me.
9.1, dude.
Yeah.
What's the difference between a 9 and a 9.1? Dude, can
Don't
you
ask
please-
me that. It just feels correct.
Are there any games that you give 10s to?
10s?
Yeah.
Ooh, dude.
Do you have a 10?
Give me a 10, dude. Give me 110. I have a 10. Easy 10.
I also have a 10.
Yeah.
Conquer's Bad Fur Day.
Wow,
what
the hell, dude?
You're out of
A
your
10?
mob, dude.
Fuck
Have you
off,
played
guys.
that game?
Oh, yeah. I've
It's
played that
clunky
game.
and shitty, dude.
Oh,
it
dude,
just
it's
has
incredible.
The humor.
Oh, it's the best.
God.
Oh,
Okay, I
man.
mean, what's your 10 out of 10?
Mario Kart.
Mario Kart.
Mario
You said
Kart 8.
10 out of 10. Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay, guys, no. Okay, you knew that was a little jokey. I'm gonna take that back.
Oh yeah, dude.
No, man, straight serious. I'm asking you a question, motherfucker. Give me a
Stick with,
10.
dude. Stick with your guns.
The
If
new
you think
Super Smash Brothers.
10 out of 10. Okay, man. I
A
can see
flat 10 out of 10.
that. Okay, dude. I easily, without a doubt, give Witcher 3 my 10 out of 10. It's my game of the year.
Also
and I can tell
Skyrim.
you that right now. 10 out of 10. Witcher 3. Wild Hunt. Done. I mean, I don't know how we got on this track, but that's
Man.
it, dude. I'm sure I'm gonna have a lot more to say about that sooner or later, but
Well, let's go ahead and change tracks a little bit
yeah, go for
because emails.
it. Emails.
We have some.
We have some. We have two. We have two emails.
Fantastico.
Our first email is from Video James.
Cool name.
Video James asks, "Are you guys planning on having any special guests come on your podcast? If so, who and why?"
So interesting question and perhaps an ambitious answer. I want to have developers here
Yeah.
eventually, particularly California-based ones, obviously, because they're the ones who can commute and make the drive, or we can go and meet them, whatever. Like Naughty Dog's here, Obsidian's in Irvine, like. And I love all their games, really. So it would be great to talk to them. Not even the head people, not their game directors, not their creative leads or whatever, but like the level designers or the sound designers to really get into like the meat of how
the
of what
nitty-gritty
compromises
of
the game.
what they're doing. Yeah,
Yeah,
to
dude.
put this game together.
Yeah.
But yeah, besides that, we do know some local game developers, people who are making mods, people who are making just smaller games. We'll probably bring them in. Can't really say who they are right now, but soon.
By the end of the year.
By the end of the year, we'll
At
have
least
a few
one
special
good
guests,
guess, yeah.
This is actually a two-part email.
What an ambitious
yeah,
video, James, huh?
This is,
Pushing the
freaking
buttons.
Video James. Second question is, on your last episode, you guys talked about Nintendo. 2 days later, Nintendo dropped the news that Cloud is on Super Smash Brothers. They
Yeah.
had their direct.
Yeah, man.
So what characters do you guys hope will be released in the next Smash Bros?
Goku.
Goku's
Yeah.
cool as shit.
Goku, dude.
That's
Goku
a great
would
idea.
be a very cool addition. He sort of fits, right?
He fits completely. He fits perfectly. His B down could be powering up Kaioken. His B normal.
You've thought about this.
Yeah, his B normal could be powering up the Kamehameha, and the rest of his A moves are just his like basic amazing martial arts skills. He can probably fly pretty well, so he can survive. Like, dude, Goku's perfect. Goku's
What
absolutely
is-
perfect. If anyone from Nintendo is listening, please.
What would his Ultra or like his Smash be? His
Super Saiyan.
His yeah.
Either super. You know what would be?
Spirit Bomb.
Oh, dude, you
man.
bring up a good point. Maybe no Super
Maybe
Saiyan,
his-
but only Spirit Bomb.
No. Super Saiyan needs to be in there. Are you kidding me?
It does.
Maybe his down B. Maybe
It-
his down B, like you could channel it, and you become Super Saiyan, and then if you get hit too much, it goes away.
Maybe, dude. I don't know. I don't
All
know.
solid
Dude,
ideas.
now you're putting cracks in my.
Or
design.
maybe his Smash could be what Sonic's is. Like it turns golden and starts flying around.
That's
Yeah,
Super
like
Saiyan,
Super
right?
Saiyan,
But
yeah.
then where does Spirit Bomb fit? Right? Because Spirit Bomb, like you have to
Man.
channel it, and even though he could take a beating during it, he can't attack during
that
it.
could be his B,
No.
like a charge. Yeah, it'll be like thing, like Mewtwo's B or Samus's B. Like it's a charge attack. It's a Spirit Bomb.
All right, man. I have to see it in action because, yeah, I guess like if it like it's above him and he's trying. Yeah, okay, dude. All right. Well, you
Who
know
knows?
what? Goku.
You know,
Yeah.
I love that answer, but I would personally love it if they incorporated a dude with a gun. I think that's an unexplored little avenue they can go towards.
I mean, put in Conquer.
Oh yeah, all right, man.
Conquer
Don't
has
make fun
guns.
of me now.
No fun. Conquer would be cool.
Conquer would be pretty cool in that game. He'd fit in that game 100%.
Yeah.
Dude, they have, you know what? Who else would fit? Like Banjo and Kazooie would fit.
Yeah.
Just the rare
Well,
guys.
they're not
I
really
guess.
Nintendo anymore. Banjo-Kazooie.
But I mean, neither is
no,
Cloud.
that's very true.
Neither's
No,
Cloud.
okay, fine. I take it
Neither
back.
was Snake.
I take it back.
But
They should bring Snake back. Snake was
Master
okay.
Chief would be cool. He has a gun.
Master Chief would
Master
be
Chief
fucking
might
cool.
be cool. Yeah, I don't know if he would fit really the aesthetic, but Snake didn't either.
He'd
And I
fit
mean,
the aesthetic.
you think so?
Yeah, man.
I think Snake fit. Snake was just, dude. Metal Gear is just the silly and goofy, like, to be expected
Yeah,
in
yeah.
something like Super Smash.
But-
Like, that's
No,
totally
you're
fine.
right. But he was way too human looking for the game, is what I
Yeah.
mean. He didn't aesthetically match
Yeah.
the rest of the
He
game.
did stand out.
That's all I mean. I don't mean that he didn't match in silliness or
I
whatever.
don't know if that's the reason why they took him out, but that makes sense.
They took out a lot of characters, man. They took out Wolf. No Wolf anymore.
Wolf was kind of dumb.
Wasn't that like basically Fox? Like,
Yeah.
how
no,
is he
he's
different
way
from Fox?
he's way more.
He was a slow fox.
No,
Oh,
he's
he was,
different
like,
than
heavier?
Fox. Falco and Fox are clones. I would say that Wolf is like a deviation from Fox and not so much a clone. His things are pretty different. His moves are pretty different, and he's heavier.
Okay.
Like his like I don't know. I don't remember.
I just remember him being like a bit slower.
Slower. His B up is
Bit
different.
heavier.
His gun acts differently. Like
What's his B up? No,
Well, they're not
isn't
going to
it
be
jetpack
exactly the same.
Yeah, not exactly. No,
thing? Wait, what was his B up?
his B up is like yeah, it's like a jetpack thing, right? But it didn't act the same way as the flame thing. His side B isn't like the zip. It's like
Yeah.
a kick, or whatever it
Oh,
was.
sure.
It was just different. It was
Okay.
a different kind of character.
Yeah, I didn't play Brawl too much.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, whatever, dude. Goku.
Yeah, man.
That's my answer.
Freaking put in Goku.
If you don't put in
I'm on
Goku,
board.
dude, you're making a mistake, Nintendo.
Yeah. Well, okay. We got one more email. This
Oh,
one's
damn.
from ZZ Zhang.
All right, Gigi,
Um,
ZZ.
Hello, Next Level Team. That's us.
We're
Hi.
a team.
I can hardly keep up with all the newfangled beer kids are trying these days, much less their newfangled slang.
Mm-hmm.
I've been hearing the term Max Schlub being used a lot lately,
Yeah.
and was wondering if your team could shed some light on its meaning. Is it a proper noun? Are its origins Latin?
Okay, so I can tell you right now, it's not.
Could you
Latin.
use it in a sentence?
You will find no Oxford Dictionary definition here, ZZ Zhang.
You will find only the Schlub dictionary definition of Schlub.
Okay, let's hear it. What is a Max Schlub?
a
a
person
max-
who schlubs.
Yes, a person who schlubs at the maximum. Dude.
A schlub-a-ding-dong.
A schlub-a-dub-dub maximum rub, dude.
Okay.
That's it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, no. I mean, literally, it's a state of being, dude. It's a
Okay.
state of being that it doesn't matter what circumstances you have in life, what anything. It's you metaphysically. You're just a schlub, dude. You're just there. You're schlub-a-dub-dubbing. You're schlubbering.
Hey,
You're
hey,
this
John,
and
what are you
that.
up to? Hey, man, just being a schlub.
Just being
I
a
instantly understand
Yeah.
his state of mind.
No, yeah, I'm just schlubbing it, dude. I just I have so many things to do, but I'm schlubbing it. I'm making money off the stock market, but I'm a schlub. It doesn't matter, dude. It doesn't matter if you're the poorest man on earth.
You could be
or
a
the
high-powered schlub or a piece of shit schlub.
Yeah, no, a piece of schlub.
All schlubs
Schlubbing.
are welcome.
All schlubs are welcome in the
No
schlub
boundaries.
dub dude.
Yeah.
In the schlub tub. Yeah.
In the
So-
schlub tub.
I actually named one of our files in Zelda Max Schlub.
Oh, man.
And I fucking wrote over it or
What?
like saved over it.
Yeah, dude, I deleted it. Silly me. I see 3 names. One is my brother's name. One is Link, and one is Max
You should
Schlub.
have deleted. You should
And I
have
thought to
deleted your
myself,
brothers.
which is the least serious file here? Silly me for erasing Max Schlub, dude.
Dude, Max Schlub is the most serious you can ever get in life. For a schlub, that is the apex. He's the
Oh,
apex
man.
predator of schlub.
ZZ Zhang will find no sense in our answers, but I hope he's satisfied.
Dude, Gigi
Or she.
Shang, he or she is probably a schlub too.
Yeah.
I just have to say, dude, if they're asking me about newfangled beer and slang, like they're just too schlubbing it, dude. There's way more important things going down in the world than
Yeah.
that.
Well, if you're listening to this podcast, then you're a schlub.
Yeah.
We're all schlubs.
You
All
know
schlubs
what?
are welcome.
All schlubs are welcome. I don't think all our listeners are schlubs, but definitely, like, if you're a schlub, you are our listener.
Yeah.
That's about.
Oh, yeah.
That's about it, dude. That's
Yeah.
all she wrote.
Okay, guys.
Agreed.
Yeah. Well, thanks for tuning in. And if you guys have some more questions for us, please send it over to mail@thenextlevel.com. And we'll be schlubbing it all the way until next week. Yeah.
And then we'll be schlubbing it next week as
Yeah.
well.
Just
So.
schlubbing it. Just schlubbing it, man.
Oh boy,
All right.
oh boy.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
All right.
Good night.